A Central Kentucky man is expected back in court tomorrow for a status hearing concerning a 2022 sexual abuse case.
Well, out on bond, 25-year-old William Young was arrested and charged with first-degree rape and kidnapping of a minor. Lexington police say they used their real-time intelligence and flock license plate cameras to place him at the time and location of the assault.
WKYT's Grayson Passmore talked to law enforcement and the Children's Advocacy Center of the Bluegrass, who made sure that young girl got the help she needed.
This is a look inside the Lexington Police Department's Real-Time Intelligence Center. It's made up of several different parts: flock camera license plate readers, Fusus, a traffic cam network, and full-time investigators.
And it takes us from where a crime actually occurs to where we actually engage a suspect and take them into custody. It just completely compresses that time frame down to where used to be maybe hours, days, weeks, months. It takes it down to just minutes now.
Commander Matthew Greathouse says they've recovered more than $4 million of stolen property, reunited dozens of families with their lost loved ones, and have arrested numerous suspects in violent crimes. Earlier this month, police arrested 25-year-old William Young on charges of first-degree rape and kidnapping a minor. According to court documents, Young found the victim's home using Snapchat location settings. The documents say he pulled her into his car, locked it, and raped her. She escaped, and with details of the crime, LPD's technology helped lead to another arrest.
And so what it does is just allow them to give us some information. We're able to go to corroborate it, and then we can pull that video, and then the video itself speaks for itself. It's really hard to say I wasn't there when we can point to a specific person on video and say, well, there you are at this time at this specific place.
But in this case, it wasn't just the technology police used to make an arrest. It was the victim herself, speaking up to trained specialists at the Children's Advocacy Center of the Bluegrass.
We're experts at talking to children in crisis. While they are interviewing that child, we have the investigators watching via closed-circuit television, and we're also recording that interview so that the child only has to tell that story one time. We don't want to keep traumatizing them.
According to court documents, the teen victim reported details of the assault to an advocate at the center. Wynn Stevens says they work closely with law enforcement and prosecutors to make sure no child or their case slips through the cracks.
That the cases get all of the attention that they deserve, and that results ultimately in the better outcome for the child. They get better results, and for our society, we get more convictions.
In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
And Stevens says it is important that families talk to children at an age-appropriate level, discuss what type of contact is okay and what isn't. He also urges parents to monitor their children's social media and to make sure they know that there are people online who could try and harm them. You can always report suspected abuse at 1-877-KY-SAFE-1.
New tonight.